This is the Keller Chronicles, Cook with Your Heart. Stories, lessons, and flavors from Chef Duane Keller, a chef who has spent 5 decades cooking for presidents, royalty, and people just like you.
Welcome. We're back from a little holiday break, and I've saved the best for today. I have a very good friend and just an amazing person that I've known since I think 2001 when we did really a child's 90th birthday. Shelli Vasser Gilliam, working on Gaylord Hotels before I even opened the hotel. Check her LinkedIn page out, and we have her here today to just share what she has done for the community of Washington, D.C. and Alexandria, Virginia, where I spent 2 decades. Um, Thanks for being on the show. How you been?
Well, thank you, Chef Duane. It is so good to be here, and thank you for this invitation to actually talk with you on the Keller Chronicles. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, this is a good show. We never know what's going to happen. I told you yesterday. I said I may cry, and I don't think anybody knew the story, but I uh, I found out on January 10th, 2020, that my doctor forgot to share my pathology report. And lucky for the members at Bellhaven Country Club, they kept asking for it. And so I did when I went in for my follow up. And in the report, it was like 6 pages long, and said that I had two types of cancer. One was very, very bad. The other was just taking out my thyroid. But I'll make it short. When I came out of surgery and I came around, you and Diana were there. And I mean, it comes down to just believing in God. I mean, and thank you for being there. It's a long recovery. Now it's 2026. It's taken me 5 years to get my taste buds back. And I'm a chef. How's that work? So this is about you today. It's not about me. But we did a lot of things together over 2 decades in Alexandria, and your career has just exploded. I can't keep up with everything that's going on. And everything you do is to give back to the community, and it's really what I do. I love to cook, and I love to take care of people through cooking. And I pulled my chef coat out for really a child's 90th birthday. This is that was a big deal in Washington D.C. I was part of the Clyde's restaurant group, and look at this. Back then, that's 2001. I wrote "Cook with Your Heart" on the jacket.
Wow.
So one day we will do something huge, and we'll need your fundraising expertise and everything else you do to make something really nice happen for many and bring everybody together. Tell us about what you've been up to. Because I can't keep up.
Well, Chef Duane, that is such a generous intro, and thank you for that. I love supporting you as you cook with your heart and just have a passion for leadership and how you support others, those who work with you and on your team. And so what I do know, just to go back to 2020, is that day I needed to be there. That's all I remember, is that I needed to be there, and I'm glad that I could be there with you and Diana and on that day, and that you are all well today. So, but thank you for this opportunity, this invitation. Things have been quite busy here, even into the first 2 weeks of 2026. For me, in the Washington, D.C. area, I am a former corporate girl. You talked about Gaylord Hotels and Clyde's Restaurant Group, or maybe you hadn't quite gotten to Gaylord, but Clyde's Restaurant Group. And both of us worked there, but at two different locations. I think at almost different times, but we connected after your work at Gaylord, I believe. And we connected because I saw your name on the menu of a restaurant that I liked to frequent back then. And when you came out of the kitchen, I was like, oh my goodness, it actually is him. And you were so gracious and kind to come out and meet and talk with me. And over the course of that time that you were there, I also brought a lot of people by, which is something that I like to do, is connect people and mobilize them around a certain, whether it's a community issue or social issue or some way that they can make a difference and really make an impact. And so I moved from corporate into doing my own work with nonprofits, supporting them, lifting them visibility and awareness, and just increasing their profiles so that they could focus on their missions. I did that for many years in my consulting business, and all the while continue to volunteer. And I very much enjoy volunteering with different events through my church and through the community and other places. And then in 2020, I landed a job with an association doing membership work, which was good for me because it was customer and front facing at the time. And from there, I eventually went back into working for a nonprofit, a human service nonprofit, or what we call in the business direct service. And so I am now with Community Lodgings, which is a nonprofit that helps families move into transitional housing, affordable housing, and we operate a youth education program where we also address food insecurity. So on a daily basis, we are addressing housing, education, and food for families in need. And these are hardworking families. They just need a little extra support. And most of them are immigrant families, but they're working multiple jobs and finding it difficult to make ends meet here in this area, which is very expensive. I've lived in this area for a number of years. And so we provide those additional resources and support for them.
Yeah, the say it's expensive is an understatement. I had a
Yeah.
friend, a very successful guy, still talk to him. He said, if you move, you're not going to be able to move back. And
Yeah.
I mean, I came down here, I bought a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house for half of what I paid for a townhouse up there.
And that's real talk. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Mhm.
The I always say catalyst because you're bringing people together, and you asked me to be a celebrity judge for
I
how many
did, didn't
restaurants
I?
how many restaurants in there that day.
I think there were 20 or 22. I can't remember the exact number, but yeah. Mhm.
All very good restaurants in Alexandria, and that was a lot of fun. We had
Yeah.
a lot of fun there. That was the Carpenter's Shelter.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about that day, because if any chef gets go and judge food, that's really an honor. That's really
Absolutely.
something easy to help out.
Absolutely. And do you know that event is still going on today? It's been over 25 years. And what is also interesting about Carpenter Shelter is that in 2007 and '08, I worked for them doing essentially the same type of work that I do for community lodging. So fund development, resource development, partnerships, grant writing, and those kinds of things. And so I was doing that for Carpenter Shelter. When I invited you, I was volunteering. So I started as a volunteer back in '07, I think. I got a job with them later in '07 and worked there for about a year. And then later, I started volunteering and serving on their cook-off committee, which is when I reached out to you and said, "Hey, would you like to be one of the judges for all of these restaurants that we have for the cook-off?" And you graciously and kindly said yes, and participated in other ways. And so we are, certainly grateful. So I went from volunteer to employment, back to volunteering for that organization, and now here I sit years later. working for what we sometimes refer to as a sister organization, because both Carpenter Shelter and Community Lodgings were founded the same year. And that was in 1987. And one is a shelter, an emergency shelter, that's Carpenter Shelter, and Community Lodgings is the continuation of that, which means transitional housing, the next step after shelter, and then affordable housing, the next step after transitional. So it feels like a continuum for me, and a full circle in terms of the housing space there. But Carpenter Shelter is doing very well. They've expanded. They've built a new shelter that includes also permanent and assisted housing as well. So they are back at their original spot, which is in Old Town Alexandria, and they're doing well and still serving their community and the people who need them, as this is hypothermia season. This is definitely a very busy time for the shelter or anyone in housing, because there are a lot of people, again, due to expense and losing a job, or even medical, one medical change or shift in someone's life, diagnosis will completely shift their finances, and could lead to being homeless, or unhoused. So
I was always working on, I kind of lost track of the project. I wanted to do a soup kitchen in Old Town. And because it's down in Florida, when I lived in Florida for 10 years, they had a barbecue joint. And they always had these Rolls Royces and all these, people that had a lot of money would go to this little shack. The guy started with a barrel on the side of the road. And I forget the name of it, but it was so successful. And that always stuck with me, because I can live on soup. Anybody can live on soup. It's healthy. There's a million soups. I make terrific soup. And
of course you do.
I just wanted to open a soup kitchen in Alexandria that would serve anybody. Any, very reasonable. The three-legged stool, food service, value, and quality. And maybe one day, I'm only halfway there. Maybe we can do something like that. But you got a lot going on. You got to feed the 5,000. I want to hear about this.
Yeah, so Feed 5,000 is actually something that I help with, and it's through my house of worship. And so there's someone else who organizes it and does a lot of the work, and I just kind of come in on the day of. But I did start working, or not working, but volunteering with Feed 5,000 through my house of worship back in 2012 as part of the core team. And so our job was to figure out, because we were just starting it in 2012, figure out how are we going to actually do this. And so what we came up with is that we could serve a week's worth of groceries to families in need. They would register for the opportunity, and they pick up the groceries. We also back then provided some milk, and I believe there was at one point there might have been produce as well. And so we had staple items as well as produce, and we gave that out. So the first year, I think we served about 1,700 people. So we didn't make the 5,000, but that's okay. And for those of you who know, you know that Feed 5,000 is based on the biblical story of Jesus feeding 5,000 people. And actually, that didn't include women or children, just 5,000 men. And so we hit about 1,700, and then we went from that to about 3,300, and then the third year, 5,100 people. And so people said, well, that's great. You made your goal. And I said, well, we have to take a step back and remember that our whole purpose, our focus is to serve our brothers and sisters with a week's worth of groceries. That also means that there are that many people who are food insecure in and around the city of Alexandria. And so, thinking of it in those terms means that you're thinking of it less of achieving a number or a goal, but more of in service to people who really needed it. And we did it at a very strategic time. It was the time is at the end of the month, so that folks could bridge that last week of the month, and we did it as part of an anniversary for our pastor. So there were multiple reasons behind why we did that, and we chose to serve the community in that way. But when we would do it on that last Saturday of the month, it allowed us to partner with Alive. Alexandrians involved ecumenically, which is an ecumenical, of course, federation of houses of worship across Alexandria. So no matter the religious denomination or type of religion that the individuals or the houses of worship practice, they were part of they are part of Alive. And so we collaborated with them, brought in our volunteers. We had about 300 or so volunteers that first year. We were overflowing with volunteers, and my job was to manage the whole volunteer piece on site. There was someone else who actually managed it before that and getting us to that day, but on site to actually make sure that everyone was in the place that we had assigned them and doing the work and the volunteering that we needed them to do. So it takes a lot to pack bags with multiple items in them, and then get them out to someone's car. So that it became a 2-day process where we had to also, in order to get the food there, we had to order the food, and then the food is brought on tractor trailers and unloaded and brought it to a space. And so there's a whole process. And so I worked with the volunteers on that, and I'm grateful to have been able to serve in that way. But there was a whole team and other folks who were in charge and leading. I got in where I fit in, and I helped where I could, and grateful to do it. And actually, I did so last September as well. So we still have it. It's still continuing.
Yeah, organizing and keeping 300.
I know. I know. But everyone joins with the right spirit. They come with the right spirit, and they're, we now have music for folks to listen to as they're packing. So, folks are in a rhythm, and it's actually it's a fun event, but it's very purposeful.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah,
I love it. You remember when Celine Dion sang at Gaylord National's opening?
Oh my goodness. So I wasn't there for that. But yeah, that's right. Thank you for the reminder.
That was 10,000. And
Wow.
I had my hands in that one just to help play it up. That's the big
just
yeah, that was a big deal. Gaylord National, man, I should write a book about that float. I mean, I really should. I should write it.
So I was part of Gaylord National, I think. So our paths kept crossing because I was part of Gaylord National and really the Gaylord brand from 03 to 07, and then they opened National in 08. So I left the year before they opened. But we were doing what is affectionately called, pre-opening sales, group sales for the property as well as the other properties. So I was part of the team that represented the brand. And yeah, when you're opening a new property, Chef, you can talk all about that.
Now I know who to blame for all that. When they asked me to go on live television, no, it was because the hotel was 1,500 rooms, but you beat all your expectations. 265%, 118%, 125%. Now I know who was responsible for them putting on the other 500 rooms.
And just to think, those percentages you just mentioned are in my nonprofit work. That's what I'm doing now. But yeah, as a salesperson, a corporate person back then, yeah, we booked every group we could possibly entertain into the hotel. And then the hotel, actually, I think what was initially a 1,500 room hotel became a 2,000 room hotel. and about 6 food and beverage outlets or so,
Mhm.
and lots of work there for you to do.
Yeah, I think they forgot to order some doorknobs
I
because
heard about that. I heard
uh,
about that. That's unfortunate.
the opening was pretty entertaining. Entertaining. They asked me to go on live television to cook my pan-seared scallop dish on a potato slice, and I think it's on my website.
Mhm.
It's in YouTube somewhere. But I googled. This is when I started getting into Google. I googled Gaylord National. And there was like 50 pages of like you know norovirus and like yeah, we had a couple of problems, a few hiccups there, but I went on live television. I'm doing this dish, and the guy asked me live. He said, "What's going on over there?" I said, "Well, nothing. We're just taking care of tens of thousands, cooking, and yeah, Moon Bay really anchored the S&B outlet. We took a lot of people. We were
Right.
overbooked. They went to the room. I hate to say it, but you can't make this stuff up. And there was not even a doorknob on the door. Because some of them pushed the door open. Some of the construction people are still sleeping in there. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, it was a compressed timeline, lots of big changes, and if you don't dot your I's and cross your T's, things happen. So let's move on to bigger and better things here. Your public speaking is on fire. Your partnership, when you're the president of MPI, can you share a little bit about what you did there? Because I thought that was really, really good work.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was the president of MPI Potomac, which was the local chapter here in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And it was the largest chapter globally. So, globally, and this was during the pandemic. So, imagine being the president of a board of meeting professionals, those who are in the business of planning meetings, executing meetings, production, whether it's audio visual, staging, whatever type of production, and those in the hospitality and meeting and event industry during the pandemic. Imagine that, first of all. So I was the president, and we had a 17-member board. And prior to that, though, I'd served in a variety of other capacities on the executive leadership team, as well as a committee member initially, quite a while before that, and as a director on the board as well. So I eventually became the president, and ready to serve during that time of 2021, 22. And like I said, I mean, in the hospitality industry, very exciting, something I had aspired to for a long time. What I didn't factor in is the pandemic being part of that equation. But for such a time as that was, I was grateful to serve the members. We had about 530 members. That was scaled back because prior to the pandemic, we were about 740. But again, we remain the largest chapter globally. So of all 70 chapters from the time I was actually, it happened for the first time in 20 years, we became the largest chapter when I was VP of membership. And so that was affirming. And that was in 2020. And we didn't announce it right away because the pandemic happened at the exact same time. When we got the notification, I think it was March or April. And we all know that March or April of 2020, what that time looked like. So that's when we became the largest for the first time in 20 years. And we continued that through my immediate past presidency. And ostensibly, I think they continued for at least one more year or so. But it is a group of meeting professionals who come together to network, to connect for education purposes, and to really, work together. You have planners and suppliers. Chef, I know you are all familiar with this in the hospitality industry, and that's where we are here at Think Tank Media. And part of what we're talking about. And so, as planners and suppliers come together and do business and book business in the hotels, we were just talking about that. just a moment ago, and planners do their job of really, fine tuning the plans over a period of time. I've been a planner and I have worked as a supplier. So we affectionately call ourselves supplanners, supplier planners, supplanners. And so that was my life before getting into the world of nonprofit. So planning events and being a supplier on the sales corporate side as well.
And I know that well, and I apologize I didn't mention it, but you are a hospitality expert. Wherever you
Ah,
get, wherever you go, there you are. And
there you are. There it
the
is.
5 years that I was at Walker's Grill, I could write a book about that. Um, all the regulars, you were a regular. I saw you 2 or 3 times a week. Did you ever see that time I got up on the bar and I did the 22 push-up challenge?
So no,
Oh,
I think I saw that online actually. I was not
yeah.
there for it, but I think I saw that online. And you had the most fantastic carrot
Mhm.
cake.
Care.
Because I could eat it. I have an allergy to tree nuts, and you assured me that there were no tree nuts in this carrot cake. And I literally, whenever I would go to that restaurant, I would order carrot cake because I've never been able to have that in my life, except for the one and the recipe that you had. So there you go. Thank you very much. I also know that there is absolutely no microwave anywhere near you. You do not cook with microwave, that you cook from the heart. And so I learned a lot of little tidbits about you while while you were working
Yeah.
there as well. There is absolutely no microwave anywhere near this gentleman. And so everyone out there who's listening, you should know that. As a matter of fact, the very first time you heard me say that I connected with him and found, because I saw his name on the menu of that same restaurant, as a matter of fact. And he said, "Hey, why don't you come in and look at the kitchen, what I'm working with here?" And so he showed me the kitchen. Not many patrons, customers of restaurants are invited into the kitchen, and certainly not so readily by the executive chef. And so he said, "Come on in here, look at what I'm working with here." And so I always appreciated that. And of course, that restaurant was a mainstay for me for many years because of you. And I just wanted to support you and the work you were doing. So I loved it. I loved it. And I could eat the carrot cake, which for me is
The
a big
carrot
thing.
cake up here, I don't even have a recipe. I just make that stuff up. It's all
You just
carrots.
make it.
It's just amazing the carrots. They just melt into the cake.
Mhm.
It, but for all you chefs out there, if you need something to keep you on top of that ball, invite people into your kitchen so they can see what you're doing. I've been doing it for 25 years, I think, maybe longer. And what it does is it makes you identify every detail, because when you invite people into your kitchen, it better look good. I've had
Yeah.
dry aged rooms, and I mean, I walk them in, and I took the Wednesday's Child
Mhm.
um,
Yes.
segment,
Mhm.
and she came in, and I watched that
Oh,
thing, and I watch that now, and
wow.
that was Potomac Landing in 2002. Um, I tear up because
Yeah.
you can see the grill. It looked awful.
Mm.
The grill. No, it was such a fantastic. This girl was so great. I taught her how to wash her hands. I gave her a chef hat. We had her cooking lobster macaroni and cheese and everything. But
Wow.
when I look at the grill was not face down and it's not looking too good. You
Oh
know,
my.
that's what you need to do if you invite people into the kitchen. So
Always be ready, as I've been told, in other respects. Like, always, always, always be ready. You never know what you're going to walk into or who's going to walk in to your space, your life, or what you're doing. So you always have to be ready and in position.
good example. Just do the right things right and do them while nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Yesterday my wife was like, "This is a woman that wrote on Facebook. She has Crawford, no, she has a Columbia County group that's grown to 86,000 people on this website
Wow.
on that
Mhm.
Facebook page. And my wife's company did her house, and she writes all these great things about the company. And wow, I mean,
Mhm.
she can barely keep up. It just
Yeah.
exploded. So always do the right things right, and just wherever you go, there you are. You under promise and over deliver all the time. You're so humble. You're so humble.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, those are two Chef Duane isms he just gave you there.
I'm
Always do the right things right, and wherever you go, there you are. Those are two Chef Duane isms. So,
I'm only halfway there, and
and you're only halfway there, and cook with your heart. Absolutely.
I'm very humble since
Yes.
I moved to
And we
Georgia.
must be.
I'm very humble.
I heard that.
Can you tell us about some recent partnerships that you have?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about how we're able to partner with the community, the Greater Alexandria community. When I first started, this is a grant that we received, but it led to some opening up, if you will, of partnerships. So when I started in October of 2023, Community Lodgings, a couple weeks later, my very first grant applied for was City Foundation. And it was a lengthy process, a lengthy application, and everyone around me said, you know, Shelly, this is a long shot. It was $4 million. And so I said, yeah, it is a long shot, but that doesn't stop us from putting our best foot forward, and it will not stop us from doing so. And so I massaged the application, so did um, my colleague, and a few months later, we heard from them, and they wanted to interview us. So we were interviewed by the folks from City Foundation, which was a big moment for us, a very big moment for us. And we walked away from that interview and we're like, okay, well, you know, we put our best foot forward. Let's see what happens. What we didn't know until the interview is that there were initially about 1,100 applicants. They had narrowed it down at that moment to get to the interview to 80. So
Wow.
we had made the cut. We made the cut from 1,100 to 80.
Wow.
And so we found that out that we discovered that at the interview. And then a few months later, a couple, not even a few, actually, I think it was only about 2 months later, we found out we were one of the 50 recipients of the $1 million grant. So it was $50 million, $1 million to each of the recipient organizations, and it's over 3 years. And so that gave us a relationship and a partnership with City Foundation that had we not applied, we never, you can't win unless you enter. And no one knows about you unless you're actually speaking or you're in front of them and telling and sharing the story. And so that positioned the organization to be in a place that it had never been in before. They had never received $1 million grant from a foundation before. And that opened up a lot of avenues for us and eyes in the community. I mean, we went from hyper local all in one moment, Chef Dwayne. We went from hyper local Alexandria to national presence, to actually, if anybody was looking, because there were two press releases from City Foundation, to global,
Wow.
right? And it was an amazing moment for us as a small local nonprofit that had been around at that point about 36 years. And here we are today. So since then, we are now partnering with my alma mater, the campus here in Arlington for Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. Very
Yeah.
excited about that. And so our students are in their drone lab. Very exciting stuff. We have taken a tour of their of academic building one. We're also partnering with a local psychologist. Activate is the name of the business here in Alexandria, to provide mental health group sessions and counseling for our students, middle school students, and soon to be high school students. Very big deal.
It was a great.
There's an organization that's more of a social enterprise where the founder owns a cleaning company and she has a nonprofit that she has formed because of the cleaning company and how it is thriving, the company is thriving. And so she has an organization called Light and Salt Company. And I'm sorry, it's yes, Light and Salt Company. And they have a No Sock Left Behind program where they provide essential products. We're also working with Rosie Riveters here in the Alexandria
Mhm.
region, and we're very
I
excited about
imagine.
that. Yeah, so there are a lot of good partnerships as well as foundations that are funding us. As Taco Bell is funding our Next Up program, which actually allows us to take students in this community on college tours, starting as middle schoolers. So the reason is because we want to introduce students to life outside of the neighborhood that they've grown up in. We want to show them that there is a path for them if they continue their education, whether 2-year, 4-year vocational and trade schools. We're actually also doing that as well. And so we take them during spring break when these students would primarily be at home. They're not, necessarily going on a spring break trip. We take them to colleges and universities, and for the first time, because of the Taco Bell grant and also another grant that we recently received, that we will be able to take them to Virginia Tech, go Hokies again, UVA, as well as JMU, and some colleges that are a bit further away, but still in the area. And so we're grateful for that. So all of those take partnerships, which is the work that I do in building alliances, but also increasing, lifting that visibility so folks know that we exist and why we exist and how they can be the hero and make an impact in the work that we're doing.
That's, that's awesome. That is so awesome. William's in fifth grade, and he just, I'm like, we practice baseball almost every day. He
Yeah.
wants, he wants to go to college, and he thinks that, he's going to play college baseball. So
Ah,
he's
okay.
already focused on, what he's going to do to get there. And
hmm
one of
I
the
love that.
one of the reasons we moved down here is Columbia County schools are
hmm
fantastic. And he's been in the National Beta Club for the last 3 years, I think.
Wow.
Doing really well. The kid is
That is,
he's such a great kid. But thank
yeah.
you for all that. That's just that's not working. That is your heart is driving you. Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I tell people I thank you for saying that because I tell people, it's what I call heart work. HEART, just as you indicated there, it's heart work. It's work that I'm passionate about. It's work that is purposeful and meaningful, that fulfills me each and every day, makes it very easy to get out of the bed when you're doing HEART work. And so I am grateful to do that and to serve the community that I'm serving and also continue doing the other things that I'm doing, volunteering as well.
It's so fantastic. So fantastic. So everybody's got to go check Shelli out on LinkedIn because I can't keep up with all the great stuff. Um, Tell us about, you know, I always bring up COVID on the Keller Chronicles because, wow, it knocked me out. It was probably cancer too, but I went from Bellhaven Country Club where I got a nice little email from you know who, and that was it for me. So I went to New York City. I had, I would say that going out on top job, 350 a year, two pensions. I was set. I go up there. All I had to do was cook for the board, 8 of them, and 2 of them said it was the best meal they ever had in New York City. I couldn't taste anything because I took a radioactive pill. And when you do that, it put the pressure counter on you. Couldn't be around people, not even my dog for a month. And then I ended up in New York City cooking for the board at the Penn Club. And they loved it. They gave me a chef to help me. I gave him a box of spoons. I said, all I want you to do is taste what I'm doing. And when I say cook from the heart, this is the best example I can give you. I had no taste. I couldn't taste anything. I just got my taste buds back 5 years later. But I prepared an 8-course dinner for 8 of them, and they loved it. So I got the
I
job.
remember that time. I remember when, yeah, I definitely remember that time when you had to, and you were in treatment and you couldn't, you couldn't be around anyone. I remember checking on you around there. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they, like I say, recovery is in our business is making it right. And Taylor was big on recovery, making it right.
Mhm.
They never gave me a bill. I used to go to the Charlotte Cancer Center every day and get shots, and the nurses were like, "We don't know what this is. It's so new, but we know it's $3,000." And then they had a tumor board, we call it, the best doctors in Washington D.C. That became my doctor, and here I am today. They made it
Yeah.
right. They made it
Yeah.
right, and COVID really screwed things up. So I went back to DC, turned on the TV, and I'm watching. The weekend I was up there in New York was the weekend COVID started.
Mhm.
I got the GM calling me every day when he's coming, and I'm watching the news. And I'm like scared to death. Nobody knew what this was. So I said, well, I apologize. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, considering what's going on up there. He said, well, you can stay in the hotel, as long as you want. You can just stay here. And I'm like, that's lovely. I mean, I would love to be that dog and the family, and I'm not going to be able to make it. So, I
Yeah.
stayed in D.C. I had a VP and Connector called me and said, we got the perfect thing for you. We'd love you to launch modeling recipe in the United States. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Because I did my due diligence and um, I, I saw all about farm to table. And farm to table is what I am,
Yeah.
since the early 90s. So
Mhm.
I went to work. It was March. I went into work my first day, and my boss said, "Don't even put your bag down. We're going home." And
Wow.
that was at the IMF. And so
Mhm.
3,000 employees went home and never came back. And
Mhm.
as a chef, I had to prepare food every day, research and development, pictures, programs, and it was just me in the kitchen. And every day I'd do it. We'd do big pics of it all, and then the next day I'd come in and throw that food away and start over and do it again. It was the most
Wow.
disheartening job I've ever had, and so that was COVID, Washington D.C. downtown, and I opened a really nice club with some great people,
Mhm.
and we really signed up. So even though it was like there was no expectation other than it was ultra luxury, and food was great, and I didn't
Yeah.
have I just did whatever I wanted, and they were beautiful. The members loved it, but there was only I think 60 members, so that was really wild.
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
I got a call. Somebody wanted me to come down to Georgia, and come down to Georgia, and it's nice. We really like it. But I do miss Alexandria a lot. I was up there with Thanksgiving, I guess. Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Mhm. 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 Well, it's here. When you want to come back, we welcome you with open arms.
I will be back shortly. I'm trying to see where we're at for time because you and I can talk all day long. Where are we at? Usually there's a little time thing here. Um,
Indeed.
we've been going for 50 minutes, 45 minutes. We can continue to go just for a little bit longer. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I got off
Give them to
track
me,
there. I
Chef.
apologize, but this is one of my best friends of my life, and I'm an old guy. So
We're catching up. This is great.
Shelli and I
I'm
go way
enjoying it.
back. So,
We do.
um, so coaching others is so important in hospitality, but it's really important in life because you run across people that need help all the time, and how do you how do you help others when they don't want to ask for it? Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a yes, coaching is important. I have a coach myself, and it's extremely important that you focus on yourself and find out those areas that need to be strengthened. And so helping people who don't want to maybe ask you for assistance um, is something where generally what I was sharing this with someone the other day is that I practice by doing, right? So show up as myself with that main character energy and do it, whatever it is for you. And through that, what you'll see eventually, and what I've found is that it breaks the ice and helps people come to you because now you're relatable, especially if they see something in you, a quality, a trait, or a skill that, hey, you know what, I'd like to be better at that, or I'd like to understand more about that. Um, so I practice the by doing and and generally because I also have a magnetic personality, it also helps to draw people to me in that way. So but then once they're in your space and you're talking with them, I think it's all about really listening to them and uncovering the things that may be barriers that are holding them back. A lot of times we hold ourselves back. So when folks don't want to ask you, that's them holding themselves back. And so if you're a leader or a friend, someone that they're engaging with, listening will take you far. And you can get your questions in later, but just, maybe pose a couple of questions to get the conversation started, and people will share with you. And a lot of times it's just us holding ourselves back. And so being empathetic in that way, which I believe is a leadership trait, um, as well as just being that listener, another leadership trait, clearly, and just really activating yet another, activating those qualities and helping people understand that you care about them. That's part of the empathy and the emotional intelligence. I think it all goes a long way. So when you wrap that up together and put it in a bow, folks know and are more willing to open themselves up to you because they find you as a safe space and person to be. And that person, you're not there to judge. You're there to listen, potentially provide advice or some help or guidance. I think it's really important, especially for leaders. But even if you're not in a leadership role, you can still practice these things because these skills, because it's very important that you do as you're also interacting and interfacing with and engaging with your colleagues, with your friends, with your family members, with people you don't even know. And folks are also they see you. So when you walk into a room and you know five people, but there are 105 people in the room, the perception there of who you are, your presence that comes before you as you walk into the room. I like to tell people that I walk into rooms with the passion at my front and the wind at my back. So when I walk in, and that it probably is where the magnetism comes in, if people see that,
mhm,
right? I'm not
mhm,
walking into a room where I'm like, oh boy, uh,
yeah,
this is going to be like, I don't want to be here and all those things. you're walking into a room and your presence speaks volumes about who you are as a person, and folks want to be around someone like
Your answer on how to help people that don't even know they need help or don't want help is fantastic. And we got to have you back because there's just so
that. I would
much
love to
more.
come back, Chef.
And we're at the time I want to say thank you. We're going to have you back, and we're going to continue the conversation because this is very helpful and fun. And we're gonna help others. Hopefully,
Indeed.
say hello to everybody up in Alexandria, and let me know if anybody wants to open a soup kitchen because
Okay.
Alexandria could use one. Just soup, bread,
Actually,
and
yeah.
salad. That's it.
I love it. I love it.
Quality.
I love it. And anything coming out of your kitchen, Chef, is going to be absolutely divine. So absolutely. So thank you so very much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Always good to have a conversation with you, but also to catch up as well. Please give my best to your family. And God bless as we go through 2026. I appreciate this opportunity.
Have a super year. We'll be in touch, and miss you.
Thank you. Miss you too. Take care.
Thank you for being part of the Keller Chronicles, Cook with Your Heart. Join us in the Hospitality Nexus to keep the conversation going. And until next time, remember, every meal is a chance to share love, and every day is a chance to make a difference.